Game.
All right, everyone, welcome to game one of this awesome series of Argus Force versus Get Trucked on Reflection. On the left side of the screen, we have Get Trucked, the blue Zerg, Dice, and his teal, cyan, whatever color you want to call this, Terran, Bad Cop.
And in the bottom right, we have, as the red Terran, we have King's Servant. And also in the bottom right, as the orange Protoss, we have Infinity One, and they are Team Argus Force.
Awesome. And this game is casted by Chris and myself, Jason. Welcome aboard. First time casting together. This should be fun.
Yes, indeed. We've each done games separately, but this is our first game together.
Absolutely. So, what do you think of the map here, Chris? It looks like it's a big open map, lots of expands.
I think this map is a pain in the ass when I play 2v2s on it, but that's just my personal opinion.
Absolutely. I haven't played very many 2v2s on this map myself, so I will be relying heavily on your advice on this map.
Well, key features. You have one natural expansion that is on the high ground, but it is a little bit far away from the mains. You have a natural that is off to the front below a very wide ramp and isn't terribly easy to defend. And there's a second ramp in the back that has destructible rocks. So you need to watch out for an attack from behind.
Awesome. Looks like very dynamic map. Lots of different attack patterns. But it can still expand into that macro bit game, which, speaking of, Dice drops his hatchery first. Being very eco-focused, seems like Zergs are favoring that in this 2v2 format.
It really does. I'm not sure. Part of the problem with 2v2 is there isn't really a tried and true strategy with it yet. This is really a trial and error sort of thing still.
Very true. A lot of the time you just see really, really popular 1v1 builds that people just mesh together. So it'll be interesting to see once 2v2 starts to evolve more. But we got a Reaper from Bad Cop, 2 Reapers it's going to be. So not sure if it's going to be just for scouting or might get some kills with them.
If they're using this Reaper for just scouting, that would be kind of silly. I think we'll be seeing some harassment.
Now this is interesting. There's an Evo chamber blocking the natural for King's Servant replaced by Dice. That's an epic play. I really like that. Oh, a really cool, cute move.
The Reaper just took out a Marine and is going for workers.
Reapers are really, really good. Just flat out. And Dice now has his natural up. He's sending some drones over, almost fully functional. He has his spawning pool, so he's going to be able to supply some serious pressure with getting the Zerglings and his queens out now. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
We have an evolution chamber block over at the natural of Argus Force.
Yes, and the Reapers are just constantly getting pumped out. The Marines just keep getting slaughtered before they can kill anything. Oh, that micro. One does go down.
Both.
That was quite a costly loss there, but they did a significant amount of damage, so worth it in the end.
Yes, they did. And Team Get Trunked seems to be really scouting the map.
Absolutely.
For everything. Picking up the proxy pylons, moving with Reapers constantly. It's just an ongoing scout
now,
here.
I'm not really sure why they decided to use a SCV to clear the Evo chamber. Sure, it was dying slowly, but he just lost the SCV, the Broodlings.
Yeah, that probably just a lack of micro.
Now, these Reapers are still wreaking havoc in the base of King's Servant, and they get away. They're just 3 kills, essentially.
Yep, of course, the heart of the swarm. Reapers auto-heal.
Absolutely. Now, there is a Twilight Council coming down for Infinity One, so he could use that to turn the game around, whether he goes Dark Shrine or does Blink. Blink could be quite good, or he gets Charge.
You know what they say, when behind.
Dark Shrine, absolutely. But he's also getting the robotics facility, so he's going really tech heavy and going with very many routes. So I'm not sure how effective it will be because he's not being specific enough.
Yeah, he seems to be going for a general macro strategy on one base, which doesn't strike me as a good move. And there goes the Dark Shrine.
Dark Shrine is dropped, so I mean, it's hard to say. And he's getting a Warp Prison, so DT drop. Kind of like it. And if you catch someone off guard with a DT drop, it's devastating.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So that would explain the Robo. Just going for the War Prism, and yeah,
But
that could be very, very interesting.
But looking at Dice Natural, he already has a Spore there, so he can't do much there. The second he sees the Warp Prism, he'll just drop a Spore in his main. And then, of course, because Bad Cop is Terran, he'll drop a few missile turrets, and it'll pretty much all be over.
Well, they still need actual military units there to kill off the DTs.
Very, very true. Looking at the units, I mean, Bad Cop has 2 Reapers, 5 Marauders, 10 Marines. That's pretty sufficient. Whereas Dice has 7 Zerglings and 4 Queens. So both they should be able to clean up and attack fairly easy. But I mean, the other team here is teching up, so they will have some powerful units soon. It's just whether they can afford it. Speaking of, Infinity 1 is expanding now, so we will finally get a second income.
Yes. He sent out his Warp Prism, but then pulled it back. I think he may have been spotted, and he may have realized he was spotted.
Yeah, a little bit of indecision there. If you send your Warp Prism out, even if it's spotted, you kind of want to at least send it somewhere to kind of freak out your opponent. You don't necessarily need to use it. You just need to send it out there.
It was definitely spotted because anti-air is going up all over.
All right. And Reapers are going behind the mineral line. It looks all right here. They are clearing up the... it looks like they are going after the watchtowers. It is spotted now. He's sending a Zealot to the watchtower to get rid of the Zergling, but, I mean, small victory, I guess.
I'm not sure I like that play. I mean, you're going after the watchtower, I suppose, but you're also telling your opponent that your Warp Prism isn't going to be putting pressure on for a while.
Very true. I mean, it feels like they're just trying to scrape in, and plus that part of the map isn't significant, really. Now, Dice is dropping a third, so he's going to get an even bigger economy lead. I mean, the Terran has double Mule going on, so that's going to be quite good for him.
And of course, the third is on gold. On top of that,
that's a good point. The third is on the gold, so he's going to get a huge income spike.
I don't really see any way that Argus Force can answer that.
Now, Dice is engaging with Roaches. Let's see, will he fully engage, or is he going to pull back? It's hard to say. There's a lot of forces up on top of that ramp, but they're going to coordinate. Sim needs to split the Roaches in. This is a great attack so far. We'll see if they'll be able to break through. Getting some serious damage done on the wall. Target firing is really, really good. Oh, they need to kill that engineering bay. They do. The upgrade is not finished. Stalkers are falling. Oh, they're going on the ropes here.
Indeed, it's not looking good for Argus Force.
Now they do get, King Servant does get one siege tank out, but it falls rather quickly, clearing out the natural of Infinity 1, and Dice's Roaches and Bad Cop's Marine Marauder are just cleaning shop.
I'm wondering why Infinity 1 did not work in Dark Templar.
GG, that's game.
That's it.
Interesting conversation there. I never understand. Well, for the record, it was random. Moving on to game 2.
And welcome to Resupply Tanker. I'm Chris. My co-caster is Jason. And in the top left, we have Bad Cop as the teal Terran. And in the top right, as the blue Zerg, we have Dice. And they make up Team Get Trunked.
And on the opposite end of the map, their opponents, starting out at the bottom right, Infinity 1 as the orange Protoss, At the bottom left, we have King's Servant, the Red Terran, Night Form, Argus Force. That was a really weird voice, but moving on.
Very strange voice.
Very strange voice. But looks like there's friendly banter going on between the two teams. That's like what we like to see here at GS2B2. I don't know if that's what we're calling ourselves officially.
Pretty much.
Or should I just keep plugging the full name? GameSpectrums. All right. I'm so fired after this. Moving on. So, looks like the two Terrans are doing pretty separate builds here. One's going for gas. Bad Cop's going for gas, so he's going to be teching early. Whereas King Servant, whose barracks is delayed by the drone, looks like he might be going into an early command center or early barracks play. Whereas Dice looks like he's doing a hatch first again. It's very easy to take natural there. Whereas Infantry 1, next is first. I like it. Macro builds.
Wow, yeah. And you're on a roll just describing everything here.
Oh, I'm such a roll. It's like a shot out of a cannon. And I haven't even had insert generic energy drink name here yet.
Excellent.
All right.
Good to know. I hope you can keep that energy up for all the other games we're casting.
Courtesy of Michael Jordan. All right, so looks like King's Servant is looking to block any potential natural expanse by Bad Cop. Oh man. Dice has dropped a third. Is this a double hatch before pool, Chris?
It looks like it might be. Yep. Definitely is. Pool just went down.
That is wicked. I mean, you can. This is either a really big advantage he's going to gain, or they're just going to take a huge loss from an early aggression. I don't think it's going to happen though. But seeing as Bad Cop's doing the same Reaper build, and since the two sides are so far apart from each other, they can't really help one another. Infantry 1's got to fight this off by himself.
Indeed. It's very interesting. I mean, Argus Force. Both have expanded early. And on the other hand, we have the fast Reaper build from out of Bad Cop.
I feel like that's an awesome combination. Sorry for cutting you off, Chris, but that's
fine.
That's a great combination. You get the huge economic advantage for the Zerg, who really thrives with that, but then you get the benefits of really early aggression from the Terran, who's still doing damage. 7 kills with this Reaper, 3 on his body, and then the new one hasn't gotten anyone yet, but that's okay.
Ooh, that Reaper micro is insane.
Sick Reaper micro there. Now, looks like King Servant kind of said, screw you, Infinity. I'm just going to make sure I don't get Reapered, and he's patrolling all his Marines in the base. He sent an SCV, and that's all he's going to get.
It's a clever move.
Yeah, I mean, he's safe for now, but I mean, we haven't seen anything from Dice yet, so he's just scared about the Terran right now.
One thing about King Servant is he's safe, but he was only just getting gas.
That's true. He's only just getting gas, and he's powering up. He's not going to have units for a while.
Exactly.
So the Reapers all get away, too.
And Infinity 1 is more or less disabled at the moment.
Yeah, he's not going to... Let's see. He does have minerals, so he can afford to build probes. That's good. Looks like he has 2 probes now.
The Marine Patrol didn't do very well against many Reapers.
Nope, because Reapers are really good when you mask them. And the best part is he's falling back. He's getting Syntac, he's building Marines, he's powering up his reactors. He has a command center. It's like...
Mothership Core is flying in to try to help.
Let's see some sick time warp. Nope.
Reapers are just too fast, and now they're just going to go back over to the Protoss and attack there.
And get rid of all of his probes. This is not a fair fight. But oh so entertaining at the same time. Now, we haven't even talked about Dice, really, because, I mean, he's just been macroing up. He's getting his upgrades. He's getting speed, +1 carapace. And he's just like, man, in case that somehow do get out of this, I got this. You could just keep doing your harass.
In terms of a team for Get Trunked, it seems like Bad Cap is in charge of just an early aggression, and Dice's job is to just power up and come in with a big attack, big push later, I'd say.
And that makes sense. I mean, his Bad Cop's micro is very impressive with his Reapers. He has not lost very many, if really any. So that's a really good plan by them. And it looks like all the FCVs are just going to start dying. It's an absolute slaughter, Chris.
That Reaper micro is crazy. It's amazing. I wish I could micro Reapers that well.
I bet you do, since you play Protoss. Now,
I mean, I have Reapers as Protoss, but that's not what I meant.
Exactly. Now, if we look back at Bad Cop's base, look how many Marines he has. And he has Stim. He's getting Combat Shield. He has an NG Bay, which is getting +1 attack. He's getting a reactor on his factory, which looks like he's going to switch over for his starport. So
we're probably going to see medevacs out of that.
If we don't, it will be just a taunt play. Honestly, it's so standard to get medevacs, and with that much bio, makes sense. Now, I would be raging.
Not standard to lift and then land again, but
it's all style points. Now, they do get the Nexus cannon off, so I mean they can't damage any of their buildings anymore, but there's no probes. He can build a probe. One probe. Looking at King's Servant, who's not dead since he plays Terran. He does have 2 orbitals, so he can build his mules and be fine. He has a bunker in the mineral line, but I mean, he has 2 Marines there. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Meanwhile, we're getting a 4th for Dice and a 5th, because I mean, he's so safe right now. He could just expand to the 3rd of Infinity here, and he'd be fine.
You know what? He's so safe that he could just expand to the middle gold.
Yep, he could. Now,
at this point, King's Servant and Infinity 1 are both hurting a lot. They need to do something to change this.
Absolutely, and the push is coming in with the bio ball from Bad Cop. There just simply is a bunch of Marines. He is pulling back, so no, he's going in. Whereas a bunch of Banelings from Dice, we're finally going to be able to see something. They are spotted by the Mothership Core of Infinity 1. He's probably like, what do we do now?
Well, in this position, there's not a lot you can do. You can hide a probe. That's pretty much what you can do at this point.
You can do the Chris special, and that's hide a bunch of Nexuses around the map if you feel like you've been wrong. Now, final kill, GG from King's Servant.
We have a GG. And
GG all around once again.
GG.
And am I going to have to reiterate myself? No, I'm not, because
you're not.
Fantastic. All right. That's game 2. That's the series then. Get Trump takes it.